Me. I'm really thrilled to be part of this panel. And now I'm going to take it down a little lower, the conversation. So I'm going to talk to you just a little bit about Think Local First and who we are, why we do what we do, and why I think we're important to the community. So I always like to begin every presentation with, we are a movement, we're not a moment. We're here to stay, we're not going anywhere. What we do every day is relevant to the economic vitality of our community. And we've discussed a little bit of that. Who are we other than that? We're a nonprofit. We're open to local independently owned businesses. We currently represent about 260 some businesses and individuals in our community. And we are part of the Business for Local Living Economy, Business Alliance for Local Living Economies, which is really why I'm here. The local living economies is really big in that statement, in that there are other national organizations that talk about the local movement, and what we are is we're one of 160 organized networks around the United States and Canada who are doing this kind of work. But we really like Bali because of those three words, local living economy. They take a very holistic approach to doing business in our community. So what do we do? Just as a brief overview, we do a lot of education and advocacy. We do speaking engagements, such as what I'm doing right here. We do event sponsorships. Those are some of the ones that we've got coming up, the Local Food Summit. We have a regular event at the ARC, the Entre Slam, which is this new really cool opportunity for business members to get to know one another in a storytelling atmosphere. We attend community events, and then we throw community events. That's something new to us that we've started doing, but it's all about engaging the community, and we did a walkable strawberry festival in Depot Town, and it got the people to actually walk throughout their community and sample some of the wares at business owners of Think Local First. And then we publish our resource guide and articles. That's just a portion of what we do. And here's my image that's missing. Why should you support local independently owned businesses? And this is just a real brief overview. There are lots of studies that indicate when you spend your money locally, it stays and recirculates in the community. One of the numbers you hear regularly is the multiplier effect. For every dollar that stays in our community, it recirculates 3 and 4 times, and that's a powerful statement because that empowers the individual to really consider where you spend your money and what it actually, how it rebounds in the community and can make a difference. This is a study that we quote regularly. It's one of the ones that's talked about a lot, and this talks about what happens if you spend $100 of your money at a local independently owned business, and that big pie chart has all kinds of more data than you really need, but what it really tells you is $68 of that 100 stays and recirculates in your community. And this was a study done by Andersonville in Chicago. So if you shop at a big box retailer, what happens with your 100? Well, only 43 stays. So that's a $25 difference. I want you to think about that $25 difference, and if you pull the multiplier effect in there. If that $25 is going to circulate 3 and 4 times more, all of a sudden your $100 means another $75 to $100 to your local economy. But here's the biggie. So if you shop on the internet, what stays? Nothing. That's a real challenge for local businesses, and I'm not going to go into all of the different issues that go with that, but just think about that figure. So back to local living economies. Why is that important? And one of the things that Bali talks a lot about is what's called the triple bottom line, and this is a new concept to some people. It's something we've been talking about a little bit over the last couple of years, and really what it is, it talks about the 3 pillars to measure an organization's success, and it's not just about profit. We need to be considering a planet and people, that there are the 3 other factors, and that's really what this is all about. And it's all about the local living economy, and we're not a buy local group. Let me be really clear on that. It's one of the things we are really well known for, but we are about spending your dollars smartly. We're not about consumerism. So what do the 3 pillars mean? The social pillar, which is your people. One of the things that we love about local businesses is they practice fair and beneficial business practices, and they care about their staff. Statistics also tell us that they pay 35% more in wages and benefits, and they care about who works for them. And you don't have to go through these crazy red tape to have a day off because your child is sick. Here's the other real big one, charitable contributions. This is huge, folks. I want you to think about this. When you are going and looking for a silent auction item, where do you go? You go to your local independently owned business because that's who you have your relationship with. And also because they give back 2.5 times more. And we don't give our local independently owned businesses the credit that they deserve in that area. Because big boxes really co-opted a lot of that, and it's one of the things that we talk about, and we want to make sure that you understand how they give back in other ways that maybe are not so apparent. Fair trade is another issue, assuring a living wage. That's a conversation we're having in our community right now. So another pillar is the planet, and this is big too, because local independently owned business owners live in our community. They want to manage their resources. They want to be good stewards to their planet. They want to take care of the environment. So you'll see better recycling programs. They reduce waste in that area. And here's the other one that the triple bottom line talks about, which I think is really interesting because it only makes sense. They do not produce harmful or destructive products. So the profit is the one that most people are familiar with, the bottom line. This is why we call it the triple bottom line. It differs from a traditional accounting, and some of you will argue, and it's a very valid point, that how do you measure all of these three components? But it is something that we need to be considering, because price is not the only consideration. Price is why we are where we are today, I do believe. When we've only been thinking about what something costs in a dollar amount, then we don't really understand the true cost to our community. So let's see, economic value is created by the organization after deducting the cost of all inputs. And again, it is the real economic impact the organization has on its economic environment. And we're going to hear about in more detail from Zingerman's, who's taken that to a very great level. And this is an example of a business here that I really like to talk about, because this is a man who you could see him evolve, and where he started and where he is now. And the company name is Urban Ashes. His name is Paul Hickman. And he's somebody who really loves design and likes to work with his hands, and was having real trouble. He started out in advertising and worked for Disney, of all things, and just really wasn't happy where he was at. And he likes to work with wood, and he partnered with the Urban Wood Project, which is this wonderful collective of local sawmills that comes around, and literally they can come on site on your home. They won't take the tree down, but they'll plane it into hardwood flooring so that you can put it in your home. And they do bigger pieces. But it's all about sustainability, and this all really started when the emerald ash borer came through. What are we doing with these trees? Let's repurpose them. Let's not chip them. So the Urban Wood Project takes wood, and they use that for picture frames, which the Work Skills Force, which is a really cool company out of Brighton that helps people who are prison reentry and people with mental and physical handicaps, do manufacturing. And they manufacture the frames. And then he has now, I think he's now in 28 states in the country. He's really, because of this business model, people have embraced it, and he's become very successful. And not only that, he's helped so many of our other members in Think Local First, and the boutique, which is one of the only independents out in Briarwood Mall. So if any of you don't ever go out to Briarwood Mall, you may want to think about stopping at the boutique. And they're one of many who sell the finished product. But we really love this example because it's just one of many of our membership. I could tell you stories after stories. It's what I am. I'm the story collector, and I go out and talk to the community about why you should be supporting small businesses. So my presentation is going to be quite short, I think, compared to everybody else's. I love this. You can't buy happiness, but you can buy local, and that's kind of the same thing. Our message is right, truly. Now is the time. We're really excited to be where we are and to be part of a collective of other networks around the country who all share best practices. That's the best part about my job, and I have lots of best parts, but is that we want everyone to succeed. Local is where you are, so I'm not interested in franchising, but I will mentor, and I'm really excited about that. And just a couple other things. We're not anti-big business. We just think it's a big pie, and everybody should have a share of that pie. And these are statistics below there that I find really scary, and I think we should all be very concerned about, because if big business is taking away our choices, that means we're going to homogenize our communities, and then nobody will want to be anywhere. $1 in $4 goes to Walmart. That's mind-blowing. 1 in 3 of all internet sales goes to Amazon. And every time we let big business make decisions for us, it means we get decisions taken away from us. And again, remember, we're a movement, not a moment, and whenever possible, support your independence first. And then there's some further resources if you're interested. Those are great options for learning more about what I'm talking about. My information's up there. And then thank you for inviting me. And I look forward to taking any questions.